Hollywood.
But before we get to all that, we're going to take a little trip. We are back with Bruce Porter from the Resource Center. You want to take a walk over here?
Sure, let's go on over.
All right, we're just going to go talk to Bruce
you can
right
join
now.
us too if you like.
Yes, you can. Bruce, how are you? How you doing?
Good to see you,
welcome
Bruce.
to my side of the room.
I know. Thanks for holding down the fort for us. Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you guys. Fun morning, huh?
Oh, when's the last time you were over there?
We had an event over there a couple of months ago. It was awesome.
Isn't it great?
Isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. We were in the big aquarium room. It was great.
It's just remarkable.
Everybody's
really is.
got to get out and go over there.
I would absolutely agree with that. All right. For this week's Dollars and Cents, by the way, this is sponsored by the Resource Center. We want to take a look at today's topic. This is the top 5 reasons why Social Security disability claims are denied. Okay,
Right.
so if you've been trying and it's not happening, maybe this will help explain what's going on.
So I hear it a lot. People complain, I've been trying to get my Social Security disability approved. I just can't get it done. It's just something's going on. And there's reasons, they don't just automatically just turn everybody down.
Right.
There's usually reasons behind a denial.
Sure.
And so, we've started this new department at the Resource Center where we assist people in helping them get approved for disability or at least going through the process. And we have a Social Security representative, a disability representative at the Resource Center now,
Yeah.
Roy Rixtu. And Roy is an expert. He's 20 years experience, and I would encourage people to call because trying to figure out why we get denied, lack of medical evidence. So, your claims person, your expert that you're using has to have documentation in order to help you go through the process of being approved for Social
It's
Security.
not going to go on your say-so.
No, hey, I can't work. Okay, here you go.
Yeah.
No, they're not
That's not
going
how
to
it
do
works.
that.
Doesn't work.
So there's got to be supporting medical information, and a lot of times we're going to rely on you to help us get that put together. Now, here's some things you've got to know though about medical stuff. Sometimes you go in and you're wanting to get some walking assistance. You want a prescribed cane or a walker.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And, if you've ever had a checkup and, hey, Tom, how you feeling? Oh, normal. They're checking the boxes. So if you go in for a cane or a prescription for a device,
Right.
make sure that the doctor knows and coordinates your medical record to reflect that. You're not normal if you're asking for a walking device, right? Mm-hmm. And so a lot of times we have to navigate that. And
Okay.
then prior denials, just because you've been denied doesn't mean you just automatically reopen a new case. Appealing your denial would be the proper process, not opening a brand new case and then trying to reinvent the wheel all over again.
You need to know why. You can't keep submitting the same stuff over and over.
No.
It's
Right.
been denied. It's going to be denied
Right.
again.
And you
So-
should know you have the right to appeal it, I guess, if you're denied.
Absolutely.
So understand that you may have to do that before you just clean it off and start again.
Well, 70% are denied up front. There's 13.8% that are approved on appeal. Now, when you look at that, if you have a prior denial, you gather the information. Why was I denied? Well, it's usually lack of medical record or something to that effect, supporting documentation. And you and your representative, that's where we come into play. We're going to help you get the proper documentation together and then go through the process. Now, let's go to your income.
Okay.
Everybody thinks my income affects my ability to get a Social Security disability. Well, if you can work, you don't need disability, right? If you can't work, then you're going to need some disability. Technically, Social Security disability is not based on income. Social Security supplemental income, SSI is, but not SSDI. So you got to keep that straight.
Okay.
A little less than a minute here.
Right.
Yeah.
Failure to follow treatment. So if you're prescribed a treatment plan from your doctor and you fail to follow that plan, that could affect your ability to obtain Social Security disability.
Understandable.
Failure to cooperate. I know that it's a daunting task trying to get approved, trying to put up with all the things that the pieces that have to go in square peg, square hole, round peg, round hole, right? You have to cooperate. You've got to be willing to help. You've got to be willing to step up and provide documentation as it comes up and as it's needed. So obviously, contact an expert. Go to our QR code. We have a landing page. If you're interested in assistance with Social Security disability, contact the Resource Center, and we will get you in front of the right people to help you get that done.
Let them help you sort it
Yep.
out.
Thanks, Bruce.
Bruce,
Yep,
thanks.
you bet.
All right, we'll be right back.